This video is about the diminishing returns when you try to go too far in either direction on your lifestyle. So in the one direction, you have these people that buy really big houses that think that this is what they really want, and maybe in some cases it is, but I'm pretty sure that the headaches that come with it sometimes aren't worth the big house or the status that you get with a house like that. So here in the hills of Tucson, Arizona, you see this house over here behind all of this cactus is a pretty big house. It's about, I think it's about 9,000 square feet. But it's for rent right now. Nobody's lived here for a few years. And so the point I'm trying to make is that when if the average house of the average family, two parents, 2 kids, is maybe 3 or 4 bedrooms, 2 baths or something like that, and you aspire to have a big house like some of these houses, and some of these houses aren't even that big compared to really rich people, like billionaires that have 40-room mansions and things like that. The problem that comes with that is the upkeep and the time and effort and headache and just thinking about stuff of just maintaining your house that, to me, is not worth it. Not that I could afford this 9,000 square foot house, but I'm here visiting people who live in similarly typed sized, not as big, but still, this is a nice neighborhood, and most of these houses are pretty big, pretty expensive. And I talk to them and I see the problems they have with a big house like this, and it really weighs on their mind a lot of times, because there's always things to think about. They have not one air conditioner, they got 5 or 6 air conditioners. They have not one set of plumbing in their house, but they have like 3, 4 separate lines that go bad, or gas lines, or all kinds of things that they have to worry about. They have to hire people to do to take care of the pool, which they never swim in, or to take care of the garden all the time. When they go out of town, they have to pay somebody to take their dog, to watch their house, to do all kinds of things like that. So the myth that people have in their head that, oh, I should get rich just so that I can buy the 30-room mansion and then I'll really be happy. Well, I don't think that's true. I think the less time and effort you can spend on thinking about things of your regular everyday living, the more time and effort you have to put to things that you enjoy or are worthwhile. So same goes with cars. They have a fancy, not even a fancy car, just a German car, and they have all kinds of expensive maintenance that you normally wouldn't have on a regular run-of-the-mill Honda Accord, Toyota Camry kind of thing. So with all these extra special things comes extra special headaches. For instance, the house that my friends live in have really high ceilings, and they have all these high-end appliances and these fancy lights that no one could reach. So when a light bulb goes out, you can't go to just the store and get a 99-cent light bulb. You have to hire somebody with a ladder and buy the special light bulbs, or the special whatever expensive gas range or expensive refrigerator, all that kind of stuff. Not that they can't afford it, but all of these things are extra hassle that they have to have on their mind and account for. And you may think, well, okay, if you're that rich, you could just hire somebody to do that. Yeah, that's true. But guess what? You have to now do the hiring. You gotta do the background on the person. You gotta see if they work out. You gotta fire people. You gotta manage them. It's a whole nother job. So with all of this high-end lifestyle or inflation of your lifestyle comes inflation of your headaches. And I may be biased because I can't afford these houses, and so maybe it's sour grapes, but I don't think it is, because if I was this rich, I wouldn't have these huge houses. But of course, I'm a single person. I live, just me, but most of these places here are not filled with huge families with kids. They're 1 or 2 retirees in these huge houses, so they have a lot of extra space that they don't really need. And I'm also biased because I'm a minimalist, so anything that's more than I really need, to me, is kind of excessive. And like I said, it's more things that I have to think about or worry about or spend money on that I don't necessarily want to. So that's the high end of the range, okay? But there's also the people on the other end, okay? You think that the people who live out in the wilderness and only live in a tent or one little room cabin like Thoreau on Walden, you think that they're living the good life because you see these TV shows of them being totally free. They wake up when they want, they do what they want. But what you don't realize is, if you have to do that every day of your life, and you have to spend 8 or 10 hours of your day going out to chop down firewood, otherwise you're going to freeze to death, or otherwise you can't cook your breakfast, and you have to go with buckets to the river and collect water and carry it back and maybe filter that out or something along those lines. You have to go hunting for your own food. I think you would soon realize that you think you're trading your cabin for freedom, but really you're trading it for a full-time job of just sustaining your life, which is also no way to live, in my opinion. So where is the happy medium? Well, it's kind of right in the middle. And that's why I think it's best to buy the house that is an average size or smaller than average if you can get away with it. That's not something custom built, because you're always going to overpay for that. It's not everybody's taste. Something right in the middle that everybody wants is usually the cheapest price for the best amount of value in it. And that goes for cars too. You can get a Rolls Royce for $300,000, but it doesn't do much more than what a $25,000 Toyota Camry does. Yeah, it could go faster, but 99% of the time you're not really going faster than the local speed limits. It may have nicer leather, but is it worth 12 times the price? No, of course not. Same with houses. You can buy a 20-room mansion, 30-room mansion, but you can only sleep in one bed per night. You can only use one bathroom at a time. My friends who have a house over here, they have 2 dining room kind of areas with dining room tables and stuff, and they eat all their meals sitting at the little kind of kitchen counter. So a lot of times you may think you want all of these things, but in reality you realize that you can't use them all, and a lot of times they're more trouble than they're worth. So the best bet, in my opinion, is to take advantage of modern conveniences like electricity, running water, plumbing. And so this is also kind of a dig at the tiny house people that also spend, you think, oh, custom houses are only for rich people. If you watch some of these videos of these tiny houses, these people are paying $50,000, $60,000 for a 200 square foot little tiny house with all these custom wood this and custom that and all this kind of stuff. That's also overpaying for something that you're not getting value for. You could take that $50,000 and buy a really nice, a decent house in many places in the US for $50,000. So it's not about how many rooms you have and how fancy your car is. It's about how much free time you have to do the things that you want to do, and work on the things you want to work on, and maybe work on things that make you money and not things that drain your money and time and energy, like thinking about maintaining a huge house, or thinking about having to chop wood, otherwise you'll freeze, or hunt for some squirrels or something, otherwise you'll starve. Neither of those are a very efficient use of your time and energy. So stick to the middle of the road, because that's where the best value is, and that's where you can get what you need without fooling yourself that you need to go to these extremes to be happy. Being happy is in your mind. So if you are happy in a cabin in the woods, you'll also be happy in a 30-room mansion. But if you're not happy in a cabin in the woods or a 2-bedroom apartment, you're not going to be happy in a 30-room mansion either. In fact, it may just add to your problems. So that's my video on why you shouldn't go to the extremes in your lifestyle, and why you shouldn't try to aspire to it, because it may not be all that it's cracked up to be once you get there. So stick with what you know, what you like, and don't try to fill your time and energy just maintaining your lifestyle. We live in an age where all of that can be done with very minimal effort and time. So kind of put that on autopilot and do what you really want to do with your time. And that's either enjoying it or trying to build your wealth so you can have financial freedom so that you don't have to work anymore. So that's my video. I hope you liked it. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment on if you think having the big mansion is something to aspire to, or leading the ultimate minimalist lifestyle in the woods, collecting water and chopping wood and hunting your food is the ultimate lifestyle, or is it right in the middle like the average kind of person? Thank you for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you.